Yo, what's up, guys? Good morning, good morning, good morning. It is 5:17 a.m. here in Arizona. We have a flight today to Miami, so I got to come a little bit earlier. But if it's your first time tuning in to Morning Momentum, my name is Matt Beard. We're in the middle of our virtual REI rundown. This is day number 14. We're talking about disposition this week. We're talking about how you're going to be able to sell your deals. That's the disposition side of your company, right? You have your acquisition, which is the quarterback, right? Acquisition throws the ball, gets the deal, gets the contract, throws it over to the wide receiver, which is your disposition company. And it's a wide receiver's job to get that to the end zone, okay? So that is the purpose of your disposition side. You got to be able to sell your deals, got to be able to dispo them, or to at least decide what is the best exit strategy for a particular property. Now, we talked about yesterday, guys, you don't need to have this built out when you're first getting started, right? You don't need to have a completely built out disposition side to get a deal, right? All you need is a JV partner who has this side of their business already built, right? Already has great connections in a particular market with, the one-off buyers and the people that are like, oh, they're going to pay a premium for a certain property because maybe they do last flips every year and they're just looking for maybe one or two deals. So that's the value of having a great JV partnership, is because they probably have a great buyers list. Now, as you continue on over the cut, we talked about yesterday, after 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, as you go on in your business, hopefully you're generating revenue with that JV partner, that you're also at the same time working on building this buyers list up. So you don't always have to utilize that JV partner. You're not always splitting every single deal 50-50, right? So that's super important. So this week we're talking about how you guys can build out that side of your business, right? Build out that side of your wholesaling company, right? So you have acquisitions and dispositions. Yesterday I told you guys to start taking note of who's actually taking these properties down, right? Who are the people that are actually buying the properties? I don't know about you guys. Yes, I like making money on deals, but sometimes I get frustrated when I realize that I left a ton of money on the table and I sold it to who I thought was the end buyer, right? And what happens a lot of times in this world of wholesaling, guys, who maybe be a little unfamiliar about this, but there's something called daisy chainers, right? You sell a deal to someone who you think's an end buyer, but all they did was resell it to someone else, who then sold it to someone else. And next thing you know, you see that, oh, you got your assignment, but so did such and such. And then that was $5,000. And then here was such and such who made another $10,000. And here was another person who made $5,000. So, oh my God, I left $20,000 on the table simply because, I didn't know what I didn't know. And that's okay, right? You still made money, but at the same time, it stings a little bit when you see, we've had plenty of deals, even here in Phoenix early on, where we had these opportunities and we would get the contracts and then we'd sell it to someone who, we thought was the end buyer. And then, one time I can just think of one in Central Phoenix where, we thought oh, this is going to be a great deal. We thought we're going to make $40,000 on the assignment. And then the buyer is like, yeah, I can't do that. You guys have to give me a better deal. Can you do 30? And we're like, we'll talk this down to what would be 30 to our price. And we're like, yeah, we're still making $30,000. Let's do this thing. Absolutely. And we sign it. We make our $30,000 and we see on the HUD, the dude went and resold it to someone else and made $95,000 on an assignment on our deal. And he was an asshole enough to talk us down on our price. He could have made $85,000 on his assignment, but no, he felt that he needed to come talk us down on our price to go from 40 to 30, to then just not even be the end buyer, not even do the fix and flip, to then sell it to someone else and make almost $100,000 on the assignment. So guess who never got another deal from us, right? So I don't know about you guys, that stings a little bit, and I don't want you to go through the same things. And sometimes you can't help it. It does happen, but you try to control what you can control. And that's why you want to build out this disposition side of your company, so you're not just leaving money on the table. Okay. That is important. So as we go deeper into this, as you guys start taking note of who's actually taking these properties down, you set up that email, you have opportunities coming to you, Maybe you're not in a position yet to dispo them yourself, but you're just watching, right? You're just watching to see how these things are going, who's actually buying these properties. It's important to understand what the disposition role looks like as you build your company. Okay. So again, one of the main functions of a disposition side of your business is getting deals to the finish line. So you need to be privy to transaction coordination, or at least have a transaction coordinator that your disposition transaction coordinator work together on getting these deals done. If things come up at title, if you need to get access to certain properties, if you need to get buyers into properties, if you need to get the photos so you can blast out and market deals, that is all the disposition side of your company. Now, one of the major roles that our disposition side of our company plays is like, yes, they have to do all those things, but ultimately they know where we want to sell our deals, right? They know where we need to be on our deals to get them sold to our buyers. So it's important that every single lead that comes in, they get underwritten by our disposition rep. Okay. So underwriting is a big role of our dispo person. They have to be able to give us buy prices on these properties. That means, okay, certain property is worth 200. Hey guys, I'm running the comps on 123 Main Street. I think we need to be at this price on this property, right? That is our disposition person's role, because they're going to be the one who's selling it, right? And if we lock the property up at their price and we can't sell it, then it's like, hey, you told us to get the property at this price, right? You said that you can sell it. So it becomes a disposition problem, right? But disposition and acquisition work hand in hand in that aspect, that all of our deals get underwritten by our disposition rep as they come in. So a lead comes in brand new from our cold calling, they're underwritten right away from our disposition rep. So that is something you guys need to get comfortable with, or you can find someone who's good at comping. But I just think in general, as you guys start doing deals and working your way to maybe even doing some fix and flips in the future, you need to get privy to the numbers. So I'm going to show you guys quickly here how we do these in virtual markets. I actually just use Zillow, and I'm going to share my screen if I can open this in a new window. There we go. I'm going to share with you guys real quick how I do these in virtual markets. So here we are. Let me pull up the second window. All right. So I already chose Apopka, Florida. If you guys are not familiar with Apopka, Florida, it's just right outside of Orlando. Okay. So this was just a random address I chose before this video. I'm like, on the map, boom, let me just choose a random one. I haven't even looked at the comps yet, so we're going to work on this together. So typically what I do, and on Zillow, when someone needs my help with underwriting, even in like Florida, it's very similar to Phoenix. I'll look at, okay, where are we at here? So what's the characteristics of this property? Where's the location? And I'll try to find something similar, right? So we have this particular property. I don't know the square footage. It's a 3.2. Let's see if I can get a street view on this property. Okay. See if it's a 1 level, 2 level. Okay, so this looks like it was just a basic 3.2. Not a ton of square footage. I would probably say somewhere in the neighborhood of probably 1,400 to 1,600 square feet, just because I know these numbers, right? Ideally, you're going to want to try to get the tax records on the property. So on something like this, maybe if I don't know the square footage, I'll go to PropStream to get that. But just looking at it, I can see it's got a 2-car garage, which is an important characteristic, right? It's a 3-bed, 2-bath. Yeah, probably no more than 1,400 square feet. So I'm just going to take a rough ballpark just for the intent and purpose of this video. His estimate says 308, ballpark. I wouldn't really put too much weight on that, but a 3.2 with a 2-car garage is what we're looking at. You can scroll down and kind of see some other things, right? All these have 2,000 square feet, which is probably a little bit bigger than our property. But what I love about what I can do on Zillow, if I take that address and I type it in here on the search on Zillow, it creates this little map behind us. So I'll exit out of the property, right? And I can see ours is right here. So 309 is what it says, right? So it's 308 and some change. Property's pretty deep. Maybe it is closer to 1,600, right? There's a 1,600 property right there, which is probably pretty similar. It is a single family home, so I feel confident in that. So anywhere from 14 to 1,600. But what I do is I'll zoom out, and I want to find homes in this little nugget of neighborhoods. I would not want to use this. I don't want to cross over a major street. I know our property's in here. You guys can kind of follow the streets and see how they connect and realize that This looks like a different subdivision. So maybe I don't want to use this subdivision that's disconnected. Instead, I like to use something that's in here. Okay. But the greatest thing about Zillow is I already have it preset for all the sold properties in this neighborhood within the last 90 days. You know, if I want to find something more recent, I can even do 30 days. And you guys can kind of see where we're at with that. So I'll zoom out just a little bit. Try to keep it above this major street. If I want to, I can remove the boundary, right? And I can draw. Maybe I want to draw a circle here. Just in case. Oh, this is ugly. But just in case there's not enough comps in here, I'll still maybe I can branch out over here. As long as this, because the challenge when you start going in different subdivisions is they're either newer built or they have different community characteristics or they're gated, right? So you don't use a gated community. You don't use like a gated community home with homes that are not gated communities. So I'll apply this and I'll go back out to around 90 days. And I'm just looking for similar characteristics. So 3-2, maybe I'll go here and see if I can go more. And let's see square footage. I don't want anything over 1750. Okay, so that eliminates a lot of things in this neighborhood. Again, since I don't know the square footage, maybe I'll go to 2000. I'll try to base it off of that. Nothing even in 2000s. Let's see, 2025. Okay, so we don't have anything in the last 3 months that have sold in this little nugget of homes within that period of time. You guys can tell these look a little bit newer. It's a 4.3. When was this built? So I'll look at the year built. This is brand new built. Our subject is not that new. So let me go back another segment here. Let me go back 6 months. Okay, we have, here we go. Here's a 3.2, 2,000 square feet. That sold for $275 back in December. So about 6 months ago, this property sold. You can almost bank on the appreciation. The greatest thing about what the neighborhood will show you or tell you is what it would support in value. So if there's other 3.2s, right, that have sold for more recently, right? So I care more about the stuff that has sold recently. If there's 3.2s that sold more recently, then maybe I can pull that value. But you can see this one's February 267. His estimate currently would be around 300. Let's see what this one looks like down here. Okay, this is a 4.2, 2,100 square feet, a little bit bigger. Yeah, so just looking at these numbers, guys, you can see where, I mean, I feel like I would be challenged to say that ours was worth 310. Just looking at what we have. So this is a 3.2, 1,600 square feet. This would be pretty similar, but the reason why I probably wouldn't want to use this particular comp is because it's on the other side of the road, right? I don't know what Leicester Road is, but I still probably would be hesitant to use properties that are on the other side of the road and it backs the major road. So I'd rather not use that comp. But there is other 3.2s here within the same, I guess, the same side of the road, even though it's not in the same subdivision. That looks like, you know, 275, even though it was 6 months ago. You can probably bank on the appreciation being about $20,000 to $25,000 over this last 6 months, just because it's been insane. But still, I couldn't just say like, oh yeah, the properties are, you know, selling for this number in this little neighborhood. So what I'll do in these instances is then I'll go see if there's anything for sale, right? What is the open market saying right now, even if they haven't sold? So you'll see 319. So that 4.2 that sold for 280, now 4.2s in this neighborhood are going for about 319. It's sitting here. How long has it been on the market? 4 days with 908 views. So seems pretty popular. So with all things being considered, I mean, this looks not crazy, but it looks nice, right? So all things being considered for this particular property, looking at the characteristics, 3.2 with a 2-car garage that is probably in the neighborhood of 1,400 to 1,600 square feet. Of course, I'd want to confirm that. I would say with the adjustments, our property on the market would probably go for around 300 right now. Not 309, not 310, but around 300. But guys, I use Zillow just like this for all of our properties to get a good idea. And Zillow freaking works. Like, a lot of people say like, oh, I don't know about Zillow. Like, can you trust the values? Like, I'm just looking at the comps. I'm just looking at the stuff that's right there in front of us. So what I highly recommend doing, guys, is getting familiar with that. Like, as you get better with Dispo, as you get better at looking at properties, maybe like just choose 20 random properties, just like I just did, and compare notes. So as you have that wholesaler in that neighborhood or in that market that you guys are going in virtually, you're building that relationship. Maybe just like pull 20 properties and put them on a spreadsheet and say, hey, can I send you a couple properties? I'm just trying to get better at comping these. So I'm not always asking you, hey, can you look at this deal? Hey, can you look at this deal? Hey, can you look at this deal? I just want to comp a couple properties. I want to get your perspective on it, and maybe we can compare notes, right? So then you get your reps in, because ultimately the only way I'm able to do what I just showed you guys is because I've done it a bunch, right? I've looked at a bunch of properties and I've had my repetition, so I have a good idea, especially in markets in Florida where I need to be on those certain properties. But I got that from talking to other wholesalers and talking to other people that are doing deals in the market and seeing what properties that we're doing deals on, seeing kind of where we need to be on buy prices and what that top end value of the property is. So ultimately, guys, that's all we're doing, right? Just getting our reps in. So as you're getting going, you don't have your disposition side of your business set up. Understand, like, running your numbers is going to be important. It's one of those things that you're going to want to have control of in your business. So greatest thing about doing this virtually and having that relationship with a wholesaler now is you can just compare notes. So that's your action item today. Choose 20 random properties, put them on a spreadsheet, and do your numbers. You're trying to figure out what the ARV is. So what is the top end value? What would that property, if you just, you did the normal stuff for the neighborhood, you're not going all out, you're not doing crazy stuff on properties that you don't need to do crazy stuff on, just like what does that neighborhood support, right? Is all the neighborhood properties, do they just have the basic stuff, or do they have all the granites and the finishings in the kitchens and the brand new floors and whatever that is, whatever that neighborhood supports? That's what you want to think about. What is that property worth on the top end? So then you can work backwards and figure out where you need to buy that particular property. Every single market, the numbers are a little different, but I just want you to get familiar with figuring out ARV. So that's your action item today. Pick 20 random properties. You can use Zillow, you can use PropStream to comp them, and get those reps, and then send them over to the wholesaler that you guys are already building a relationship with to compare notes. And if your wholesaler is like, I don't have enough time to do that, then you need to get someone else. You need to leverage a different relationship, because that person is going to be crucial. And if you guys need help from me, I'm happy to help. Again, just send me an email, mattbeard@startvirtual.com. I'm here for you guys. Look, I appreciate you coming and hanging out with me. It is now 5:35 in the morning. I got to finish getting my bag together so we can get to the airport, but hopefully you guys got some value from today's video. If you did, please like it, please share it. And what's up, guys, on Instagram? Thank you guys for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, head over to the YouTube channel. It's just Matthew Beard. Hit that subscribe button. Go live there every single morning. Tomorrow, I'll be doing it in Miami, so it'll be a ton of fun. Thank you guys for coming and hanging out with me this morning. I will talk to you guys later. Peace.